And so, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you the leader of our state, someone who not only understands the importance of what you do, but who has done it himself. And so, once again, I'm honored to introduce our governor, Bill Lee.
Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Evidently, I was late. We drove really fast to get here, so proud to be here. Honored to be with y'all, and particularly you all who are so engaged and so much a part of something that is that I hope by now you have figured out is near and dear to my heart. And that is the reality that people's lives are changed when they have a good job. And therefore, we should do everything we can, from recruitment and work that we do through every department of the state. We should do everything we can to make alignment between our education system and the workforce development piece to create an alignment between those that we are training and raising and educating and the job creators of today and tomorrow. When we find that alignment, when we create workforce through our education system from K all the way through post-secondary and beyond, when we put a focus there, that creates a workforce that's aligned with job creators, with business folks all across the state, then we're going to lead the country, I believe, in the way we attract businesses and the way we develop an employment rate that's even better than what we have and more meaningful in the employment than it is, in the way that we will actually do what's in my heart, which is to change the lives and make life better for every single person in this state. You all are the ones that are getting that done, and we just want to be a partner with you to make sure that it happens. The governor's investment in vocational education is my first decision to engage in something I've talked about for 2 years on the campaign trail, that we have not put the emphasis on vocational, technical, and agricultural education in our public school systems that we should have for decades, and workforce has suffered as a result of it. And being a guy who employed plumbers and pipe fitters and welders and electricians all my life, I know how badly we need to have skilled trades and the like in our education system, and that's what the GIVE Act is supposed to do. It will provide much more opportunity, particularly for those 4 out of 10 kids in Tennessee that don't go to college, and that have very powerful skills that some kids in college don't have, but just we don't have much of a pathway for them to utilize those skills that manifest in a well-trained career path for success. So, governors, the GIVE Act is going to be, I believe, a really good first step. The Future Workforce Initiative that will create STEM education programs in 100 new junior high schools, with the goal of having STEM designated public schools triple in their number in our state by 2022. All of these initiatives around, when I campaigned, I said people want a good job and a good school for their kid and a safe neighborhood. These initiatives around a good school for your kid, whether it's GIVE or Future Workforce or my push toward strengthening our public schools, those are all going to move folks to a place where they have a good job. And when people have a good job, then they're not going to engage in the criminal justice system, and we'll have safer neighborhoods all over Tennessee. A second about criminal justice, because y'all know I have talked a lot about that, and I won't talk long in this setting about it, but it is a very important part of, and everything is connected when we're talking about jobs, schools, safe neighborhoods. I am excited about putting a longer focus and a greater emphasis on that over the next year so that we truly can change the way we reenter people into society from incarceration, the way we change the number of people that we incarcerate, and I'm talking about low-level offenders and nonviolent offenders. I think it's important that we actually strengthen penalties for violent offenders and for drug traffickers, and justice should be swift and severe for those who are a menace to Tennesseans. But there is a way to be smart on crime and tough on crime at the same time. And I look forward to working with Commissioner Parker to really move the needle in the right direction in our state. But back to the alignment of education with job creators. One other thing I want to mention, because you're probably hearing about that, and it's a topic right now it's important to discuss, and that is public education itself and strengthening of our public school system. The vast majority of our kids are going to be educated in public schools. Our teachers need to be supported. Our system needs to be funded. That's why in the budget I fully funded BEP and fully funded a school safety program, or greater funded a school safety program, funded raises for teachers. The public school system is the backbone of how it is that we educate and develop the next generation of workers in our state. And you've heard about, and you'll hear me talk about education savings accounts. I want to say a word about it because there's a lot of talk about it. I think every kid in Tennessee, regardless of the zip code that they live in, ought to have access to high quality education. And this education savings account is targeted at low income children in the school districts that have 3 or more what we call cusp or failing schools. For those kids that have no choice other than to be in a failing school, I believe they deserve better than that in the state of Tennessee. And that is what this education savings account plan is designed to do. It will only affect 5 counties, so most of the people in this state, most of the people in this room, your schools will not be impacted, will not know the impact of this, because it won't take one penny away from your districts, and none of the children in your district will be eligible if you live outside those 5 counties. But here's why it matters to every Tennessean. In the same way that I said for 2 years, what happens in rural Tennessee matters to every Tennessean, what happens in our failing schools in our urban centers matters to every Tennessean too. Because when we improve the lives of those children, and when we elevate the public school system by introducing some innovative changes in the places where it's not working well, then we're gonna raise the boat for everyone. And when we do, Tennessee takes one step closer to being a leader in this country. And we become a much more attractive place for companies to locate. When I talk to businesses, and I'm talking to them all the time now about coming to Tennessee and bringing their jobs with them, they want to know about crime rate. They want to know about the kinds of our school outcomes. And those are 2 things that I'm working really hard to make a change. So learn about those things and make sure you encourage those who do know about it. I'll close. I could go on, but thank you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for the role that you play in creating the next generation of skilled workers, of educated men and women, of the workforce that I tout to prospective employers, of the workforce that will actually allow small business owners to start a business in their community. The backbone of Tennessee's economy is small business. We need to have an environment where folks who want to create a business out there in some county can do so, because they have the workers and the educated kids and the skilled, trained kids in their communities to fill those jobs that they want to create when they create a business. Thank you for working together to make sure that can happen in this state. We are very, very fortunate to be Tennesseans. The previous administration did a remarkable job of changing the landscape, and we just want to continue to change the landscape even more. We want to take this state from where it is today to a place where it leads in the country. We can do that. We can be one of the top workforce states in the country because of the people sitting in this room. And with the right focus and the right energy and the right heart toward the things that will move the needle, I truly believe we're going to do it. So I'm excited. I'm grateful. And by the way, I say this every day. This is a high honor for me to be in this spot to serve. I have been shown great favor, and because of that, I am sobered by the responsibility, and it's a high honor, and I commit to you that I will do everything I can to serve you as you serve the people around you, and we move Tennessee to a place where she leads in the country. Thanks, y'all, for the privilege to speak a minute.